My friend was a nurse, and she confessed to something horrifying. I always thought my best friend was the sweetest person I knew. She was a nurse, devoted to helping people, or so I thought. That changed the night she made a confession that still haunts me. We'd been best friends since high school, and when she became a nurse, I was so proud of her. She worked in the maternity ward, and she'd always tell me heartwarming stories about the babies and their families. She said bringing new life into the world made her feel like she was making a difference. I believed her. One night we were having drinks at my place. She'd been quiet all evening, and I could tell something was weighing on her. Out of nowhere, she said, "Can I tell you something I've never told anyone?" Of course, I said yes, but I wasn't ready for what came next. She stared at her glass, took a deep breath, and said, "I've switched babies before." I thought she was joking. She had to be. But her expression was dead serious. I asked her why, and her answer made my stomach turn. She said, "No reason, really. I just wanted to see what would happen." Then she casually added, "I've always been bad about keeping things straight in the nursery. Sometimes I'd accidentally mix up babies when putting them back in their tubs after checkups or feeding. I'd forget who went where and had to guess." She said she would remake the identification tags when she wasn't sure, just to cover her tracks. But then, she admitted that eventually, she started doing it on purpose, just for the thrill. When I pressed her, horrified, I asked, "How many times have you done this?" She looked me dead in the eyes, shrugged, and said, "Easily over 2,000 babies." My heart stopped. She explained that over her 24 years as a nurse, she'd switched babies regularly, sometimes out of carelessness, sometimes just to amuse herself. She laughed when she told me, like it was some harmless prank. I couldn't believe what I was hearing. "Do you know what you've done? Those families, those kids, you've ruined lives." She just shrugged again and said, "They'll never know. What's the harm?" I wanted to believe she was lying, but the way she spoke, the details she gave, there was no way she was making it up. I couldn't look at her the same after that. The next day, I reported her anonymously to the hospital. They launched an investigation, and within weeks, she was fired. But here's the thing. They couldn't prove anything, and no families were ever notified. To this day, I wonder how many lives she's quietly destroyed, and if those parents will ever know the truth. I lost my best friend that night, but I just couldn't stay silent. And now every time I see a baby, I think, what if it's not with the right family? Comment what you would have done if you were in my position. Would you handle it differently?